This is my persuasive action speech for Communication 110. All right, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, a person is severely injured or killed every 15 seconds on our nation's highways. As a result of this, that person is usually in need of a donation of blood. The intent of this speech this evening is to inform you, the audience, on the importance of blood donation and how one simple trip a month to the blood bank can save hundreds to thousands of lives. First, I'd like to start off by talking about what a blood donation is. According to the American Red Cross website, a blood donation is simply the voluntary donating of your blood to be used in a transfusion or to be used in a biopharmaceutical medication through a process known as fractionation. According to the American Red Cross website, every 2 seconds a blood donation is needed. As a result of this, over 41,000 blood donations are needed daily. According to those same statistics, 30 million blood components are transfused each day in the U.S. Now, hearing this, you may be sitting here saying to yourself, how can I make the difference? What can one person do? Statistics taken from the Surgery Encyclopedia show that patients may receive a pint of whole blood or components of that blood to treat their particular condition. Up to 4 components can be pulled out of your blood. And from this, the treatment from this is known as component therapy. This allows several patients to benefit from just 1 pint of your blood. Next, I'd like to move on to the components of blood. If you look here at my handy-dandy PowerPoint slide, I've listed the 5 components of blood that are pulled and used to benefit other people. Your first component is your whole blood, and this contains your red cells, white cells, and your platelets. Your second component is your red cells or your erythrocytes, and this is when oxygen is carried from your lungs to your body's tissues and then back up to your lungs to be exhaled. Your platelets or your thrombocytes are small colorless cells, cell fragments, and the main purpose is they work with your blood clotting to prevent or stop bleeding. Your fourth component is plasma, and this is composed of about 92% of water and about 7% of vital proteins that your body needs. And lastly, your cryoprecipitated anti-hemophilic factor, or cryo. And basically what this is a portion of your plasma which is rich in clotting factors. It includes factor 7 and fibrogen, and is prepared by freezing and then slowly thawing the plasma. Next, I'd like to talk about what makes you eligible to donate blood. According to the American Red Cross, there's 3 things that make you eligible. You have to be healthy, you have to be at least 17 years of age, 16 in some states with a parent's consent, and lastly, you have to weigh over 110 pounds. That's it. Next, I'd like to talk about the different types of donations that you can give. All right, as a donor, there are 3 types of blood donations that you can give. You can give a blood or whole blood donation. This is the most common type of blood donation, and it's approximately just a pint of blood that you're giving. 2, you have platelet apheresis. All right, an apheresis machine collects your platelets and some of your plasma, and then returns your red cells and some of the plasma back to you. And lastly, your plasma apheresis. The blood is collected by a machine which separates the plasma red cells and then returns the red cells and some of your platelets back to you. Next, I'd like to move on to the organizations you can go to give blood. Now, if you look around, most of us are from big communities. You look around a community, the American Red Cross has centers and mobile vans that you can stop right on the street and collect your blood. You also have certain private companies that have blood and plasma centers that are located through your communities. And finally, go into your local hospital and donating blood there. Next, what are some tips for a successful donation? According to the American Red Cross, there's 6 things that you can do that will make you have an awesome experience when donating blood. 1, you gotta get a good night's sleep. 2, eat rich foods. Eat foods that are rich in iron. 3, ensure that you drink at least 16 ounces of water prior to a donation. 4, make sure you eat a healthy meal prior to donation. 5, if you're a platelet donor, you have to remember that you cannot take aspirin 2 days to donation. And lastly, bringing your donor card and some forms of ID. And according to the American Red Cross, this experience should be a fun and memorable donation. In closing, I'd like to say some people may go through life without so much as breaking a bone. Unfortunately, we have some in our society that need transfusions due to car accidents or diseases. You've been educated on what blood donation is, what your one donation can do, and the different components of your blood that can help many people. Some people will give blood because of family or friends. Some people give blood out of obligation. Whatever the case, now that you've been educated on it, you are charged to get up, motivate others to donate blood.